Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I have a very special guest joining me, and she's none other than my niece, Hazel.
Thank you, Mercy, for having me on your channel.
You're welcome. In fact, Hazel is 10 years younger than me, and for my parents, she's the eldest grandchild. And today she's going to lead us, showing us quite a few recipes, and she became a very well baker after all the baking she did in her young days. She used to join me making a lot of mischief in the garden. We used to bake those mud cakes and decorating it with the fresh flowers. But the only thing was not possible is to eat them. But now she became one of a very good baker. Now she's going to take us through to a few recipes, and I'm going to hand you all over to Hazel.
Thank you. Welcome back. It's Hazel again. I'm making laddus this time. So in my measuring cup, I've got 2 cups of chana flour. I've sifted the chana flour just so that there's no lumps or hard clusters of chana. And then I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to the chana. I'm going to mix that up a little so it's all mixed well. And then I've got 1.5 cups of water, which I'm going to add to make a watery dough. So as you can see, I've mixed my dough up. Now I've specifically used a fork and not a whisk to mix the dough, purely because you'll still get lumpy bits of the chana. And with a whisk, even though you're whisking it, the fork helps you to break down the bigger pieces of chana onto in the container. So the water, from 1.5 cups, I've used 1.25 cup of water. So the other reason why I'm using a jug instead of a mixing bowl is that it is easier to pour when you're making your dough. So I'm just taking out a little bit of dough in my 2 separate containers. And the reason for that is that we're just going to make it a little bit pretty, and we are going to make different colors. I'm using gel coloring, and I'm going to make this into a green color. And then we'll use some red. And that's just to add color to the boondi, the fried boondis when we are preparing the laddu. And that should be fine. And you can see that all the chana has broken down. There's no lumps. And you can see the consistency, it's quite runny. So in the main mixture, I'm just adding egg yellow just to give the laddu its color. I'm not going to add coloring to the syrup. Some people, if you're going to make just say an orange laddu, then you're not going to do different colors, then you can add the coloring to the syrup. So it just depends on how you want to color or decorate your laddus. Guys, I'm ready now to start frying the boondi for the laddus. I've already prepared the syrup. Now the syrup is exactly the same as we used for the Gulab Jamun. And the measurements there was 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of rose water, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. And you can have a look at the syrup. It's ready. I'm gonna now switch on the stove to get my oil hot. So basically what I'm doing is using a rice spoon to make the boondi. I will pour the mixture onto this and dab it on the pot like so that the boondis fall into the oil and fry. Then straight after it fries, I'm going to take them straight from the oil and put them into the syrup and let it cool, and then later on we will form the different balls of laddu. So again, I've got my different colors of batter. I've got the green, yellow, and red batters, and I've got this kind of spoon. It's like a thinnish mesh that I can use to pick up the boondi from the oil, and with this you actually manage to get quite a bit of the little bits of it. Okay, so I'm going to just check if my oil is ready. I'm just going to drop a little thingy in. It's perfectly ready because you can see that the boondi has come up. So again, I said that I'm going to be using the rice spoon to drop in the boondis. And again, the reason why I use the measuring cup, and like I said, that it was going to be easier to pour for this reason. So we'll fry it until it is golden brown. And in the pot, I added 1.5 liters of oil. Don't be alarmed if you have these little lumps or clusters of boondi. When you soak it into the syrup, it soaks up, and when you crunch them up into the balls, it softens up. Don't overfill the pot up, because if you overfill the pot, then there's more clusters of these. So once the boondi is fried, you add it straight into the syrup. Again, this little sift spoon works wonders because it grabs all the little boondis.
Does the syrup need to be hot, or can it be cool?
So
cool
it
syrup?
can be cool, because remember, when you're making the boondi, when you make the balls, you need it to be, or when you're shaping it, it needs to be soft, warm to the touch. So it's actually better that you make the syrup and you leave it on the stove, and while it is still warm, that you add the fried boondis. And also what helps is that if it is warm, then the syrup absorbs into it. So you can just leave it at that, and then we'll move on to the next one, doing exactly the same process. Okay, so I've fried now the second batch of the boondis. So just as a reminder or as a hint, you can make your boondis exactly the same method for the Sev and Chevda. The only difference is that when you're making boondi for Sev and Chevda, you make the syrup a little bit weaker, and you can color the syrup instead of coloring the boondi. So it just depends what you'd like to do. And then instead of having it all together, all clumped up, you just dip it in, and then you take it out onto a grease paper and you let it dry. So it's not the same as the boondi, as the laddu, where it absorbs the syrup. So the boondi is allowed to dry. So now I'm going to make the different color boondi, which is the red one. I've cleaned out my spoon because the other one was yellow, and I'm going to do exactly the same where So while that is frying, I'm just going to mix up the yellow with the syrup so it can absorb into the yellow parts. And I'm going to fry the green in exactly the same way. Clean up the spoon and refry. Okay, so we're back now to the laddus. I've finished frying all the different colors, the green, yellow and the red. I've changed the pot because the pot that I made the syrup in was a little small, it's easier to mix when there's bigger space. Now all of the syrup has absorbed into the fried boondis, and all we're going to do now is just shape them and put them into like a little glitter cup. I've got some colored almonds and some glitter that I'm going to use a little brush to sprinkle onto the completed laddus. So this is how you do your laddu. You can see that it's still moist, and then it will set as the sugar gets harder. And we place them into the bowl, and you can make them into the different sizes as you want. If you want bigger ones, if you want smaller ones, however you choose. So we formed the laddus into the laddu balls. I've put some into some beautiful foiled cups, and so different colors. We've got some in grey, silver, and some in gold. So I've also got almond slices, which I've colored earlier. So you can either place the almond slices on the laddus to make them a little bit more decorative if you want. Just put a few different colors. And then I've got some gold dust, which I use a paintbrush to sprinkle, because then it's easy for the dust to fall onto the laddus as you do individual ones. So I've left some without any decoration. And we can just sprinkle all over the center. And there, that's the final product. This is the final product, all decorated, and it has its gold sprinkles on it. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy.
Okay, now we have come to the end of this wonderful evening of baking. I want to thank Hazel very much to come through to show the viewers all the favorites that they actually requested for. Thank you very much, Hazel.
You're welcome, Mosi.
Everything is looking so delicious. We are really going to have a feast, and hopefully for all these recipes, if Hazel can get 500 likes, so we'll get her back before Diwali to show us more recipes.